rebounds. She has been brilliant. Has 8 points in this one, 34-23. Under a minute. Haney and Bowen have really picked things up, and Haney scores again.
You know, that's a pro move right there. Just that little hesitation to get the defense off guard.
Baylor now can play for virtually the last shot of the half. Only a 1.5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. There is no 10-second backcourt violation in women's basketball. Once you cross that midcourt line, you cannot go back, however, just like the men. And Neiman, another one. She has 15 points all on threes. What a huge shot that was. And now, Bowen at the buzzer nearly hit a 40-footer. Oh, that would have been enormous for Michigan State. Let's go to Mark Jones.
Coach, your backcourt has 21 out of your total 25 points. How do you get your bigs involved?
Well, I think we need to be a little bit more patient, get the ball inside and out, slow down a little bit on offense, but mostly, I got to tell you, it's defense. Number 51 is the difference maker in this game right now. We've got to do something to shut her down.
Thanks a lot, Coach. That would be Neiman. Now over to you, Doris.
Thanks, Mark. Michigan State made that run late. What happened?
Well, we thought we were far enough out on the three, and the girl hit 2 threes. That's their game, and they're not going to go away, Doris. Let me tell you, this is the national championship, and we got to keep getting post touches. I know Emily's lighting it up from out there, but our posts have to keep touching the ball.
All right, thanks, Kim, very much. Mike.
Thank you, Doris. Halftime here at Indianapolis, 37-25. Now let's go to the ESPN Singular halftime report. Here's our buddy Reese Davis.
Love you, and then they hate you.
This is our night.
Years from now, you may still be defined by this moment.
But tonight, you define this moment.
Right now, Baylor is doing all the defining. They lead 37-25 over Michigan State. Welcome back to Indianapolis, everybody. A sellout crowd of nearly 30,000 watching this one. And what they have seen in this game, Annie, is Emily Neiman almost as accurate with the basketball as her brother Jeff was with the baseball when he pitched for Rice. She's 5 out of 7 on 3-pointers. 5 out of 7.
Talking about Emily Neiman, everybody in Indianapolis that I was talking to earlier today, who's the X factor? It is Emily Neiman, and she is in a zone in this first half. She came in, knocked down 2 quick 3-pointers, but look at the transition offense by Baylor. They know exactly where to spot up, and you see the backs of Michigan State. They are not getting back on transition and leaving players open. Well, Neiman has showed also how far out she can shoot, and she is balanced on her shot. When you get a player like that, you need to get the ball in her hands.
Our Harley-Davidson game track, the bench for Baylor. That's been virtually all Neiman, 17 points. Neiman has 15 of the 17. Michigan State, about the only thing they have done is win the battle in the paint, 14-10 over Baylor. And Haney and Bowen have scored 21 of Michigan State's 25 points. And Bowen nearly added 3 on a 40-footer to end the half. Biggest lead was 19 at 32-13. Michigan State has cut into that, but they have a long way to go if they're going to come back and win a title. And Bowen with a runner down the right side of the lane. The number 7 all-time scorer in Michigan State history starts the second half with a bucket.
I like that the guards from Michigan State are looking to attack, but you know what? They've got to get their inside people involved. You've got to get Shimmick and Warwick touching the ball.
Dangerous pass by Young, intercepted by Haney, trying to go end-to-end. She will draw the foul on Mubarra. Let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Mike, you mentioned the scoring between Haney and Bowen. That was the main concern for the Baylor Bears. They talked about keeping Haney in front on dribble penetration. She's also been dangerous on the pitch to Bowen. They'd like to get into Bowen and make her a dribble driver. For more on Michigan State, here's Mark Jones.
Yeah, Doris, the key number for Michigan State, 56. That is their defensive goal. It's written on some of the players' shoes, in fact. But at halftime, Coach McCauley telling me that 37 points that they've given so far was way too much. And it's not about Baylor, it's about us. We have to show much more heart in the second half. Back to you guys, Mike.
All right, thanks, Mark. It's 37-28. Michigan State with a good start to the second half. Young was very active offensively early in the game, but not lately. And there's the double down. As soon as she touches this, forced it up. Scott had a rebound, but Rory ripped it away from her, and then Rory has it knocked out of her hands, out to Baylor, and Rory complains to the official that she was fouled.
They've got to do something on the boards. They got out-rebounded 21-10 in that first half. They've only been out-rebounded 6 times, Michigan State, and won 4 of those games.
Well, they were dominated in the first half. Rory now has 5 for the game. She's matched up with Young. Scott, nice defense. Took it right away from Bowen.
That's where Scott's long arms really can defend against Bowen, going over the top like that.
Whitaker wanted Blackman, couldn't find her. Now Young. Neiman starts the second half on the bench. And there's a 3 out of the corner, and that's Scott. Shamika Scott, 37%. She hit 4 threes against North Carolina when they knocked off the #1 seed. Rory backing in at the baseline, knocked down the defender, got the basket.
Rory and Shimmick between them took 6 shots. During the season, they take 23 shots.
Right.
They've got to get more looks. We mentioned that Shimmick is averaging a double-double. She had 2 points and 2 rebounds.
Scott, nice entry pass. Young scores. Shimmick commits the foul. And speaking of North Carolina, congratulations to the North Carolina men who won it yesterday, and Roy Williams, who got his first national title.
They get the ball inside. Look at how deep Sophia Young gets inside. We've seen her footwork. She can go over the left shoulder, the right shoulder. She goes up and under.
Young, Kodak and Associated Press All-American, among others. U.S. basketball writers, first-team All-American.
What I like about the defense of Baylor, they've made it very difficult for Michigan State to get good looks.
Rory just using her strength, trying to get inside against Young. Didn't succeed that time. Whitaker was looking for Young, thought better of trying to pass it inside on the run. Now Young gets it. Good defense again by Haney. Knocked away. Bowen gets it. Haney on the run out. She'll score, and she's fouled by Whitaker. Well, Baylor making some silly ball handling mistakes right now, helping Michigan State get back in this game.
Joanne P. McCauley said, we are a second-half team. When they get in the locker room, she gets them fired up, and it's about the defense. She challenges their heart. She is great with quotes. And she probably has some choice quotes in the locker room today.
Those were Haney's parents. You saw she completes a 3-point play and has 15 points in this ballgame. The most outstanding player in the Kansas City Regional and the Big Ten tournament. Very underrated point guard. Whitaker on the drive, and Whitaker is fouled as she tries to go down the lane against Victoria Lucas Perry.
And that's really poor defense right there. You know that Whitaker can only go left. They allowed her to go that deep, and Lucas Perry, you got to slide over. She was standing straight up, tried to take a charge, but you're not going to be able to when you're standing.
Non-shooting foul. They have cut the lead to 3. And LaToya Wyatt, number 12, has come in for Scott.
Mulkey Robertson has put in some different looks, changed things around.
Blackman with a runner. She's fouled by Rory. That'll be 2 on the senior from Papillion, Nebraska.
You got to love how the Lady Bears are continuing to attack. They're being aggressive on the offensive end.
Blackman will go to the line. It's 43-33. Michigan State creeping back. Blackman hits the free throw. Neither one of these teams particularly good at the line. That's been an oddity this year. And a lot of the teams that have advanced well into the regionals, and especially the Final Four, have not been good free throw shooting teams.
No, and we know that that's where it's going to end up winning. The thing that's so impressive about Baylor, LSU only lost 2 games all season long by a total of 3 points. They beat the Lady Tigers by 11.
Michigan State, going back to the first half, has hit 8 of its last 9 shots. They're now down by a dozen. Shimmick just lost control of that one last touch by Michigan State out to Baylor.
What a good matchup.
Shimmick's been quiet.
Well, she has, because it's been the defense. But Wabara now being on Haney. Wabara, again, long, strong. She's the strongest player on this team. Makes it really difficult for the guards when Wabara is guarding them.
Wabara, Nigerian ancestry, but was born and lives in Parma, Italy. Young, good offensive rebound. Can't hit the shot. Still keeps it alive, and Shimmick with the rebound. Dangerous pass, nearly picked. Here comes Renee Haynes. Loose ball picked by Young. Whitaker with that left-hand dribble kicks it into the corner. Wyatt. Still haven't seen Neiman for Baylor the first 4 minutes of the second half. Young at the baseline, and she is fouled by Shimmick. 2 on the junior from Empire, Michigan. Here comes Neiman to a big hand. Get 5 3-pointers in the first half. The championship game record is 6. Set all the way back in 1990.
She's going to have a cult following.
Yes, she is. When you hit 5 out of 7, you develop your own cult in a hurry. 16:08 for the national championship. Baylor by a dozen. Wyatt trying to get to the baseline, puts up the runner and scores. Latoya Wyatt, only a sophomore from Fort Worth, has 4, and the lead's back to 14.
Baylor has just attacked the baseline early in the first half. We saw that they were attacking the gaps off passes and dribbles, and the shot's blocked.
Shimmick, air ball as she goes outside.
That wasn't blocked?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
Baylor with the lead.
Baylor by 14 here in the Women's National Championship game. And for Baylor coach Kim Mulkey-Robertson, she has the chance tonight to become the first woman to win an NCAA title, first as a player, then as a coach. She would join Dean Smith and Bob Knight. And this is 5 feet of nothing but fire and victories. The record 4 straight state titles, 2 championships as a player. Louisiana Tech, an assistant, 19 years there, guys. Everybody expected she would take over the Tech program. Instead, in just 5 short years, she's got them 15 minutes and 42 seconds away from their first national title.
Done a brilliant job, Doris, and a lot of people thought she was going to be, including her, thought she was going to be the next coach at Louisiana Tech, succeeding at Leon Barmore, and they only offered her a 1-year contract.
And Sonia Holt was there when she won a championship also, and then took over for Sonia Holt here at Baylor.
And really, the difference between Dean and Bobby and her is that they only played moments on those championship teams. She was a key participant.
But also Marianne Stanley and Teresa Grants from Immaculata won championships as players and coaches.
Yes, they did. Kristen Haney with the drive down the left side of the lane. She's been brilliant. 17 points. She's had 4 steals and gotten her hands on 5 other passes.
But she needs lots of help.
Yes, she does. She needs some. Baylor throws it away, can't save it. Baylor is led by as many as 19. Right now, the Lady Bears are up by a dozen in search of their first national championship. Michigan State, as they did in the semifinals, coming back here in Indianapolis. They're down by only a dozen and plenty of time to go.
Michigan State has to take care of the basketball and be efficient in their offense.
Boric not in there right now. Haney tried to get inside. Ran into a lot of traffic. Shot clock is down to 10. Bowen picked up her dribble. This is Laura Hall, the freshman, who only averages 1.1 point a game. She's from the great town of Temperance, Michigan.
Joanne P. McCauley trying to find somebody to make a difference in there.
47-37. Wyatt with a runner, no. Neiman with her first basket inside the three-point line. She has 17 off the bench.
And that's really a nice shot off the backboard, too, that close in.
Haney open for three, used the screen, but couldn't hit the wide open shot. That would have been huge. Would have cut it down to single digits for the first time in a long time. Blackman, nice move to get past Shimmick. Rattles out on her, tipped outside to Whitaker, and a fresh 30. Boy, wide open Neiman for three. She wanted the ball, and it rims out.
Second and third opportunities that the Lady Bears are getting. One of the reasons being is that Michigan State is getting too far caught underneath the basket for a defensive rebound.
And that's going to be a foul on the penetration by Renee Haynes.
Emily Neiman is just so savvy as she goes to the wide open spot. The ball is tipped out, and she uses the backboard. Her teammates know that she's got a good game going.
Haynes, the sophomore from Columbus, Ohio, will go to the line. She's been in double figures in 3 of 5 NCAA games. Misses that free throw, however. And now number 44, Katrina Grantham, will come in. And Shimmick will get a brief rest. Joanne P. McCauley is not going to be able to leave her all-star post player on the bench for very long, however. She's got Rohrig not in there, and Shimmick not in there either. Here's another good drive by Latoya Wyatt.
See, again, for Michigan State, what I'm seeing right now, Mike, is that they're just sliding with Baylor. Baylor is much quicker. All they have to do is get in a defensive position and look to take a charge. And they're bumping the offensive player of Baylor all the way to the basket instead of somebody sliding over and cutting off that position and maybe taking a charge and making it a little bit more difficult shot.
The officiating crew for this one, quite an honor for them to officiate this championship game. Melissa Barlow, Lisa Mattingly, and Scott Yarborough done a good job in this one, as Wyatt hits 1 out of 2.
Another thing that the Spartans are struggling with, they averaged 20 assists, and they're at halftime we're only at 3. A lot of their shots are off the dribble rather than the pass.
Bowen can't penetrate. Shot clock at 10, and Bowen 30 feet from the basket. Got away with a push off against Wyatt, goes down the lane, can't hit the shot.
Latoya Wyatt just putting good pressure on the defense.
Knocked out of bounds, and foul? Yes, the foul on Haney as she went for the loose ball. Well, that's a tough call
that's
on
really
Haney.
tough.
That ball,
they're both going for it.
It sure looked like it. Unless it was a very late whistle on the initial contact, but it didn't look like it. It's an inbound to Whitaker. Blackman trapped on the baseline and got the shooter's roll.
Stephanie Blackman has come into this game focused, her footwork in attacking Kelly Rohrig down low and going right at her.
Senior has a dozen, then Blackman makes the block, and she'll pick up the foul, her second. No one for either team in any real foul trouble yet in this game.
Stephanie Blackman, look at how she steps out on Kelly Rohrig. Rohrig bumps her there. Blackman doesn't stop. She spins, has great balance and presence of mind knowing where she is on the floor.
Rohrig gets the free throw. Great post players for both clubs, but Young and Blackman winning that battle easily tonight so far. Both rebounding and scoring, 52-40. So far, Michigan State has made it back to the 10 and 12-point level, but haven't been able to cut any further into that lead.
In the NCAA, they were down against Southern California, down against Stanford. They came back and won those games late.
That psychologically has to be good to keep you in it. But you can't just believe. You got to do something with it. And there's a travel. Good defense. Latoya Wyatt's done a nice job coming in off the bench. Her defense that time forced another turnover. 52-40. Kim Mulkey-Robertson pushing her kids in a championship game. Joanne P. McCauley doing the same.
A couple of straight NCAA tournaments, and 2 of them, she says, have a big brother, little sister type of relationship. A good one, too, Mike. Back to you.
And Coach P. McCauley was saying when everything that started happening with both the men's and women's team being in the tournament, it was like the Sonny and Cher show.
Been a lot of support from both sides. Haney nearly got her hand on an offensive rebound off the miss from Bowen. Wyatt baseline. She's got some quickness. Latoya Wyatt, the sophomore.
As much as Emily Neiman has come into the game, I think Tisdale and Wyatt off the bench have also been key for Kim Mulkey-Robertson because of their defense and the little things that they're doing out there controlling the ball.
Wyatt particularly has shown some great quickness. Haynes, this is Rory backing in. Missed the shot, one and done as Blackman gets the rebound. Joanne P. McCauley has tried to go smaller at times, and actually her guards have done a lot better job trying to rebound than her big players. Blackman. Pass was tipped. She got it anyway, and leads back to 16.
That's why you cannot key on Sophia Young. She may be the go-to player, but Blackman is making things happen. 6 rebounds, and she continues to score points for the Baylor Lady Bears.
Here's the Pontiac game-changing performance from the Final Four here in Indianapolis. Michigan State with a record-tying 16-point comeback to knock Tennessee out of the national championship picture and qualify for tonight's championship game. Michigan State will receive a $5,000 donation from Pontiac for the school's general scholarship fund. The largest deficit overcome in an NCAA title game, 14. Louisiana Tech back in 1988. Michigan State has been down 19 tonight. They would set another record. But a long way to go because they have squandered a little mini comeback and they're down by 16 right now. Shimmick has been very quiet. Short on the jump shot. Go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Mike, in the Baylor huddle, Kim Mulkey-Robertson looked at her point guard and said, Chelsea Whitaker, I trust you. This is your basketball game to win. Michigan State is going to have to start gambling. We are in your hands. 4 assists, 5 rebounds. She has not scored, but she just needs to run the team, guys.
All right, thanks, Doris. Shimmick, who's an All-American, 15 points a game, has been held to 2 tonight. Young on the missed free throw, got the ball back, put it back up into a foul from Laura Hall. She picks up 2 personals in 10 seconds.
No question, coming into this game, it was going to be rebounds, and Kim Mulkey-Robertson has her team just relentless on the boards. You see the quickness of Young slipping in there. We talked about her height at 6'1", her jumping ability, but also her quickness to jump.
Young hits the free throw. She'll get another. And now Shimmick is going to come out, and Rory will come back in. And all those post players from Michigan State, you know, really look like they're sucking for oxygen right now.
You got to like that statement by Mulkey-Robertson to her senior point guard. Whitaker, a 5th-year senior, transferred from Virginia, has had 5 knee surgeries, and just has been a comeback player. Her dad played behind Walt Frazier.
Great entry pass to Young. She knocks it home on the pass from her teammate Blackman, and it's 59-40. They have matched their biggest lead. 10:04 to go in the ball game. Haney, great pass. They can't get the basket. And Shimmick finally back in the ball game, and she scored.
The very beginning of this game, Michigan State scored the first 2 points, and then all of a sudden it looked like Baylor was rushing things, and then Emily Neiman came into the game, really changed the whole tempo, and you can see how Baylor is so aggressive on the offensive end.
Wyatt with 17 points has been the difference coming in off the bench. Good feed from Whitaker again, and they